Leafs talk, JD Bunkis, Sam McKee. The
Mm.
Leafs show up late, but they get a absolutely massive W. Did this win feel as big to you as it did to me?
Yeah, fellow dork tonight. Couple four-eyed losers doing a show in our mom's basement.
Dork
talk tonight. Couple losers. I got to tell you, buddy. Johnny Toronto, he scored the goal, and I was Johnny in Etobicoke watching this game. I had the hood up. I was doing this. Like, I was capital L locked into this game. I thought they were pretty bad for the first two periods. Not a ton to the net. Much like we've seen in the last few games. Zero events happening. Zero things happening. And I don't know what was said in the second intermission, but they came out with a purpose in that period, and give credit to pretty much everyone on that team. They played excellent in that third period, and they scored 5 goals, it felt like, in that third period. They won. They win 5-3 in overtime tonight. So really exciting finish to that game that had me feeling the passion. I was feeling rather passionate this evening, but I love that win.
Yeah, I think for me, sometimes when we're getting ready to do the show, and they have those dog nights like they look like they were having tonight, you just get depressed.
Oh yeah.
You just sit there and you go,
I don't want to do this again. I don't want to do this tonight.
Yeah, I'm not in the mood. This game is going forever. Everything is a 20-minute review. They're like, yeah, the league's looking in to try to tighten this up. You go, you figure this is a problem that every time these guys go to the iPads, it takes 34 minutes. It's 10:43 at night. We're just starting Leafs talk. This is absurd. Someone should be in jail for this. I want heads on spikes for this to happen. It's the East Coast. Kids are supposed to watch this stuff. Anyways, I thought, I'm sitting there going, God, this is going to be rough. They look like a team that was just searching for the first two periods, searching to find anything that worked with their forward groups. They looked lackadaisical. They looked tired. They looked snake bit. I hated the body language. It was rough. And then that third period, I would argue, in terms of just the way they played and the feeling of the import of having the narrative swing from what's going on with this team that can't score, that may have been the most important period of the season to me.
Completely agree. Where I don't know, you get the stars contributing, you get them. Obviously, it's still them that does a lot of it, a lot of the heavy lifting. Bobby McMahon with his first in 14 games for the first goal, but it just felt like it was coming in waves in the third period. And early in the season, it felt like that for a lot of games. And when Matthews has been gone, 5-on-5 at least, it felt like that's been missing. And in that third period, it felt like every line was contributing. I love the way that Berube did his bench, where it was like the top two lines back and forth, mix in a third line, mix in a fourth line, and then go back to the top guys. Like, I thought that he was really riding it and really kind of sensed the importance of that period and sensed the importance of getting at least a point in this game. Like, even if they lost this game in overtime, I was going to be like, that's a hell of a point for this team. And for them to get the full 2, and, put in our chat here, Irv Blitzer makes a great point. Second half of back-to-back with travel, shorthanded, rough start, 2 goals back, called back, full marks, like Irv Blitzer says. I agree. That's a gutsy effort from a team that I didn't think had it in them tonight. I really didn't.
So you want to do more review talk now? Because you want to do Knies? Because to me, just that third period of Knies was, the whole team played well, but that was a genuine holy crap period for me from him. So which one do you want to do?
Well, he makes a great play on the tip. He makes a great play to the net, but in his own defensive zone with the net pulled, may have been the most important play. No, actually, it's not true, because he had points that led to goals. So it's not the important play. It's literally the least important.
But that saved the game. That was
saves the game
saving play. Where he bailed out Nylander.
Yeah. Nylander with just a brain fart Willie moment. And, Knies comes back, makes a great back check, goes to the neutral zone, gets cross-checked, draws the penalty that leads to the 6-on-4. And, I got to give our credit, the credit when it's due to our boy Savvy. Drew up a hell of a play there. He was scribbling hard on the whiteboard. The play off the draw, he had her, and they got it across. They executed a perfectly great draw win by Tavares, and it goes across to Marner, and he puts it in. But yeah, man, Knies was excellent in that third period. Just excellent. He makes an awesome tip that made an awesome tip that should have clearly counted. Like, we don't need to Like it's obviously a goal. All three of the
We'll get 'em.
review ones should have counted in my opinion. But yeah, just don't want to take away from how unbelievably good Matthew Knies was in that third period. Their best player.
Yeah. To me, the goal that he creates where Nylander jams it home is again, it's a sign of respect in the league. Like Tom Wilson knows who that is and feels the pressure of Matthew Knies and his forecheck. And he makes a bad turnover that Knies completely takes advantage of, streaks towards the net, head up, ton of confidence, and like that's a goal most times, but it sits there on the goal line and then Nylander gets to bang one home. I agree with you about the back check. It's probably, I think if we're doing it, the most important play of the game. The goal should have counted, in my opinion. Maybe this is a good way to bleed into review talk because there's 4 reviews I want to go over here tonight. He creates havoc in front of the net on the Marner goal at the end of the game. Like he's taken a ton of attention from the defense. He draws the penalty that gets them the opportunity to go up on the power play. Like that was some beastly stuff, dude. If you're, I know people hate this, but if I'm his agent at the end of the season and we're doing contract talk, I'll just roll the tape of this period and be like, you guys sit down.
Remember November 13th in Washington where my boy got you the biggest points of the season so far. Remember that one?
Like, I'm not familiar with that.
No, I wasn't. I was at the GM meeting. You didn't travel to that one. Missed it.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's one of those ones. He is just, dude, he's a brick. That's the nickname is appropriate. He's a damn brick. And okay. So let's start with review talk with his goal.
Okay.
They should call me the Situation Room because I was all over
You're hot tonight. Kid was hot.
I called every one of these. I was just all over it. The Situation Room, this is one where I think it's a horrible call on the ice. Like, you got a bad angle on it.
Hero call.
What? Yeah.
Hero call from the ref.
Call. And then they get stuck with it because there's the one angle. I will admit that this is a goal to me a million times out of a million. This is the only one that the Situation Room was like, you got to put this in. This is a goal. But there is the one angle where it's from Riley's vantage point. I don't know if we have it and we're rolling it, but it kind of looks close-ish. And I thought that's what killed them on this because every other angle, it looks like he's got it like well into legal position.
So I think that angle on the Riley one is from a lower position. Like it's from the other end of the ice. So it's kind of pointing up. So it makes it look like it's a little higher, maybe is my theory. Like I agree with you. The one angle from above looks like it's a beautiful, perfect tip, like at the right time. And the other one makes it look like it's too high.
This angle, it looks like
good goal.
Like what are we doing here? The second he called it, did you see how mad Berube was?
Berube went full Nick Nurse tonight, bud. He was berating the officials tonight. Like he would not stop the entire time. So
also that linesman, no offense, bro, like and as someone with very boyish features myself, I feel like I get he's standing there. And Berube was giving it to him, and I went, that poor boy. That's just
don't turn around. Do not turn around. Whatever you do not turn around.
Turn around and you cry. Like you turn around and you cry. That's what happens in that situation. It'll at least buckle and fold, and you do the like look away that like he asserts the dominance on you.
So they got that one wrong. So we can say that they got that one wrong.
Yeah.
So
one wrong one.
The Lorentz one for me is a real head scratcher. I don't really know where to land on it. Because it hit his thigh and his thigh was certainly moving forward. Right. But I wasn't aware. Like I thought the whole rule with like the kick is because you don't want to elevate a skate off the ice and like, cut somebody or like the no kicking motion around the net. It's like, but if it goes off your leg, the goal is propelled into the net. Yeah. I was really confused by that one. And it kind of looks like he maybe moves his leg, but it is all in motion. I really don't know where to land on that one. That was the one of all of them that I thought was the grayest.
So to me, again, the Situation Room, when I called it originally, I was like, he swings the leg.
Yeah.
It's going to get overturned. This is one where in this game, 3 of the calls that went to review, which made us be here at this ungodly hour for Lisa.
Oh, you baby.
3 of them were whatever. I think one was bad. The high stick, obviously. Like I just think that there was enough there and that it was a bad call and it was a hero call. But all three of them, to me, you could make the case that they made the right call with review, but all against spirit of the rule. All against spirit of the rule. Like the goaltender interference, that's against the spirit of the rule. And I'm, you know me, I'm a protection goalie guy. And right away I was like, yeah, that's not going to be a goal. The kick, I don't know. It looks like he's going towards
nudge.
the net.
It's more of a nudge than a kick, bud. It's more of a nudge.
That's what I mean. It's a nudge. It was a little gray. I go, if if this league's concerned about scoring, then why are you making everything not a goal? That's 3 goals in the game.
The thing that I've made this point before, and I'll make it again. The thing that drives me the most crazy about all these reviews is these guys, they sit over there on this iPad for 25 minutes and convince themselves it's not a goal. They're watching these, like this play. If you're watching on YouTube, the goaltender interference one is just like, oh my God. Why are we doing so much to protect the guy that has the most equipment on? Like, is he not playing in the game too? Like, if you're not going to
make the one defense,
but if you're not going to let guys touch the goalie, make a little bit of incidental contact, bring back Brett Hall rule, because that's what we're at right now. That's Brett Hall rule. That's what it is. So either have it, them sitting there and watching these reviews for however long, you watch them it a million times in slow-mo, you're going to be able to convince yourself it's not a goal. Like the classic thing, have one real-time look at it where it's like, was that a goal? Was that a not? Done.
There should be a time limit. It should be like a pitch clock where they go in there and they're like, hey, you got the pitch clock on. You do your best jobs possible. You don't break it down. I think there was 2 things with that one. One is how deep he is in the crease. But again, Hakanpaa kind of forces him into that spot, but he still tries to cut in, right? So there is a responsibility to me of the player for where you're trying to make the cut. And the fact that Hakanpaa pushes you in there a little bit, well, look at where you started the play. But that one, to me, why I'm a little bothered by it, and I know this gets into even worse review because now you're adding another layer of ref discretion, but I especially hate the ones where it clearly doesn't matter. You know,
that had no bearing.
Wool did not see that puck. He was totally lost. That thing goes in 10 out of 10 times, no matter that little brush or not. And so that makes it especially difficult for me. But again, the situation room that I am, I called it immediately. And I was like, that's not going to be a goal. And
I will say, like, the situation room with you eating Doritos on the couch. No goal.
Yeah. No goal.
But like, that's an uncatchable ball situation for me with pass interference right there. Where like that puck is hitting the back of the net no matter what happens in that situation. Like there's some of them that when they clip the blocker and they twist the goalie a little bit, that looks like those are the ones I'm like, okay, he twisted him up. He made it was a bearing on the play. I get that sort of thing. Like the McMahon one against Detroit, where his skate comes up high and it kind of like, knocks him off balance.
Like, okay, didn't give him a shot. Like maybe there's a reality at least that he could get across, even though it doesn't look like it. Like, no, it's bad. The game is hockey's in a terrible place with this right now. They're genuinely where football was a few years ago, where every time there was even like a remotely close catch, we were going, I don't know. Does anybody know? Everybody seems to have different opinions on what it is. And part of the reason why I think I'm getting a lot of these rights is I'm just going, no goal. I guess
it's like when you do the Rogers Code of Conduct thing. It's like whatever's the most obvious.
Hey, if anybody's doing anything bad, should you A, let it go, B, tell the police, tell the Rogers cops. Yes, B, I'll do B.
Always all of the above.
Those are the only ones that get me. Those are the only ones that they catch up sometimes on those. They see if you're paying attention. Then lastly, the final review one was that we didn't mention is I think it was bang on that they didn't call Knies for that. You wanted Knies in prison. You were screaming for blood. You were like, God, he killed him. He killed him. He killed him.
I just thought, if I can defend myself here, that they thought it was a high stick, and then they're going to go have a look at it. And they're really sensitive to these plays now, where if a guy gets any contact up high, and I thought in the first camera angle that you have of it, you can make the case that he saw he was there, but then he kind of tucks the shoulder to get out of the way. They made the right call on it, which is good. But I just, on first blush, when I texted you, I thought there was a way that they reviewed that and turned it into a major. He gets the arm up a little bit, like the caps would think that was dirty. but that's just totally incidental. I was wrong on that one. No question.
No, to me, that's a guy who sees him last second and braces himself for impact. And if you would have given him a penalty, that's just 2 minutes for being too big and too strong and being Matthew Knies. Like, that's not fair. He's like, sorry, I'm so strong. Sorry, I'm built of pure iron, and you're going to eat that. I did feel bad for Nick Dowd when there's the shot of him going to the bench and he just looks completely hurt.
Oh, yeah, he's wiped out. He is wiped out, dude.
He is in deep pain. And I guarantee you, that guy is going to be at home tonight in his bed. Oh,
honey, can you get the ice?
Yeah.
I need the ice back. Oh,
yeah. That's one where you snap on your partner when they're like, you're like, can you just give me a break?
Oh, man.
Just look at that. That hurts, dude. That's all of Matthew Knies is just look at how Knies too doesn't even ripple.
Didn't feel it.
Yeah, he's like, what was that? Full NHLer coming downhill on him and makes perfect stride.
Yeah,
Knies doesn't budge.
Yeah,
iron.
That's the Iron Knies. I was trying to think of some Iron Mike pun with the fight coming up on Friday, but Iron Knies.
Okay, I don't know what else I got. Those ones were the major stories to me.
I got
the Domi thing.
The Domi thing on the breakaway. Was that what you're gonna say?
Well, again, it's one of those things where I see his body language and I see the way he's playing right now, and especially through the first two periods, and I'm like, this guy is lost. Like he is feeling it bad. And we pointed out that he got the tap from Holmberg last night, and tonight he got the tap from
Holmberg, one or the other.
But he got the tap from like Logan Thompson tonight.
Yeah. Oh,
that's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad.
It's not pretty. I will say on this breakaway, this is classic goalie that catches on the wrong hand situation where he makes that move. Guys go to the blocker all the time, and that's what he was thinking about doing. And he's like, oh, I just shot it right into his huge glove that's just sitting right there, and it looks bad. But that, like Simmer was talking about it a bit on the broadcast. Anyone who's ever played any level of hockey that's played against a wrong-handed goalie, it really does throw you for a little bit of a loop, and that was clearly what happened there. But yeah, he also made a play. I don't know which goal it was.
Can I just say one thing on that though first before you move on?
Yeah.
That is also to me the sign of a snake bit guy though, that isn't feeling it and just goes to like his patented move because he's like, I need one, and then he fires it right into the glove, and you go, oh, whoops.
Crap. This guy shoots. What's he doing with that glove on that hand?
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
Like, I don't know which.
It probably got mentioned at a meeting or two going into this game.
I would imagine so. The play that he makes, I don't know which goal it is that the Caps scored, but Knies goes down below the goal line and he makes a play, gets it out on the boards to Domi, and Domi just fires like a hip high hard saucer towards the defensive zone. McKee bottles it. Like he couldn't have screwed it up worse. It hops over his stick. They go down the other end and they score. McKee runs into Tanev. It's a real dog's breakfast in their own zone. But like, it's just a guy that's just forcing it. He's forcing it everywhere along the ice. Like, I can't think of a guy that needs the classic puck off the ass goal more than he does right now. Like he needs it so bad. And it's a tough goal for him. I feel like this is becoming Domi talk that every night we do it. So
but dude, he played 21 minutes tonight and was like,
nothing again.
He played 21 minutes tonight. He's -1
with nothing, like, no points again. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I don't know how it's not a relevant topic. Like it's one thing when, but that's what I'm saying. It's one thing when it's Holmbergs and Steveses of the world where it's just, hey, you guys, you're just
they're the same player. Those two guys, if they switch jerseys, no one would know.
I gotta
those
say,
guys look exactly the same. They're the exact same height. I bet you if you went and looked on their hockey DVDs, they're exact same height, exact same weight, like maybe born in the same year. Those two guys could not look more alike out there.
I think Holmberg too is still. He got an assist tonight, right? So that's 2 assists for him on the season. I think he got an assist. So that's his second assist of the year. Steve's number is atrocious. Like
46 it's bad. They should have retired that for Roman Polak, but I can't believe they're letting him wear it.
There's certain like A number like that, you should actually be so good so that it throws the other guys off.
Like 46, he obviously
he
sucks.
stinks, and then he's far down immediately off the rush. You go, oh,
he almost got first shift. He almost scored. Puck landed on his stick in the slot, and once again, weird goalie situation. No, didn't notice it.
Okay, last thing. What'd you think of Hakanpaa?
I think he has the flexibility of a steel rod.
Buddy, he reminded me of you.
Buddy, what do you mean? Like just in terms of, have you ever seen me play hockey? Like that, some similarities.
It's just to say, like, just the hip movement and just the feeling of watching you get off a couch where you do, that's Hakanpaa when he's moving out there. Hopefully the hips open up a little bit as he plays a few games, but some tough visuals.
How much did he play tonight? How much did he play tonight? 15?
Yeah.
Felt like less.
Yeah, I know. I think they went away from him later.
Yeah, that's probably what happened. But it went away from him later. So last thing, he looked like a guy that played his first game since March and has a bone knee. That's what he looked like.
This isn't like a.
He is an enormous human being.
Yeah, he's monster.
He is massive.
Yeah,
mountain of a man.
I want to see him bury someone badly. Like that's what I was hoping for. Was God, you eat a cross check from him, like he puts one in your back, and I don't think you're getting up. I think you gotta crawl the bench like Kapanen against the Leafs. It's over. You're not getting up. I don't know that he's a big man, and I'm still hopeful that, like, again, this isn't a write-off or an indictment. It's his first game back. I get it. He's gonna look rusty, but he just looked. He looked like he needed the WD-40 badly.
What were those? I'm not a dork. I wasn't a big Lord of the Ring guy, but what are those old trees that used to fight and stuff? And that's what he looked like.
He was very entish. He moves like an ent. Big time ent feel.
Overtime thoughts for me. I would just like to say that I didn't love a couple of the Joseph Wall goals tonight. Thought he was swimming a bit here and there. Didn't think that he looked awesome. But him staring down Ovi in the sweet spot, puck just lands on his stick in the spot he scored a trillion goals from. Wall stares him down, makes a great pad save, like unorthodox, gets the pad up, and then Love Marner making an area pass, gets it up to Tavares. And this is vintage Johnny T. Quick backhand fake to the forehand, 5-hole, tucks it home. But the question I have for you, insane decision by Logan Thompson to not come out there.
I agree.
How do you not come out of your net?
When it was going down the ice, and
he's obviously coming out here.
And I went, no, he won't, because Logan. That's a tough one for the guy that's trying to vie for a Team Canada spot. Is
especially because Tavares, they were at the end of a long shift here where they got hemmed for a bit. Tavares clearly isn't the most fleet of foot. If where that puck is, Logan Thompson wins that race easily. Easily.
10 out of 10 times.
Couldn't believe that he didn't come out. Like, look at that. How much time he would have had. And then I just love this move from John Tavares, and give the guy credit, man. He's been good. Got the captaincy stripped from him, and he's had some big goals for this team, and that's a really big one. And he's fired up about it. Big Sally. Gotta tell you, I'm passionate tonight. I'm back. Felt good. Felt good tonight.
There was the NFL broadcast ripped Aaron Judge the other night, where there's a drop ball, and I was like, "That's very Aaron Judge." And I went, "Nice." And I would say that him not coming out there reminded me of Garrett Cole not running to first base.
That's a very good comparison.
Go to first base, buddy.
Stakes here or a touch smaller, I would say, but still a good comparison.
Sure, but it's just fun to mention the Yankees meltdown whenever you can. I hope there's a Yankees fan watching this that just caught a stray. And again, good point. For me, there was two things in overtime other than the goal, just like rapid fire things. One was and Ryan Paulson mentions it in the chat, which is he had flashbacks seeing Kampf on the ice for OT. Like, he wasn't out there as a face-off specialist. Like, that's how thin the forward group is, where they were like, "Hey, Kampf, you're part of this." And I went, no, that's he's out there not to win a draw. He's out there because they're that thin up front. But
he put him out there before Knies.
Yeah, I know.
He got a shift before Knies did.
But he went out there with Knies. They were the.
He got out before Knies did. Before Knies did. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, that stuck out to me. But then
Uh,
number 2 was, and we didn't clip this, I should have asked for it.
uh,
Marner had a genuine Datsuk moment in OT. Like
which one?
I can't remember which
Oh yeah,
defenseman
he stripped the
that goes
puck.
back to
Yeah,
get the
yeah.
puck.
It was Strome. It was Strome. He just
It was Strome? Okay,
Yeah,
so
it was Strome.
either way, Marner was just bared down on him, turned him over, and almost created a goal. And I went, if that would have actually gone in, I would have been pointing that out as my favorite, like maybe my favorite moment of the entire season, from a guy that just worked his ass off. And you could just feel the pressure that Strome was under, and Marner just took it from him, bullied him. And I went, that reminded me genuinely of, like, having watched all these Pavel Datsuk highlights. One of my favorite player. I don't know anybody that's our age that doesn't have Pavel Datsuk as like one of their favorite guys, right?
I will say his highlights are much more electrifying than his Hall of Fame speech, but yeah.
Well, yeah. What do you expect? Yeah, they should have let him just do it, like this Russian, just do it in Russian, and like the translator out there. You don't need to do it for us, but yeah, no, I was watching a ton of his highlights, and that one just maybe it's because it was so close, but it felt very Datsukian. Anyways, player of the game goes to Matthew Knies, 46%, Tavares 32.
Good call. Smart chat.
Yeah, good chat. Chat's on it. Chat's been good this year. Gotta say, chat's been kind of on fire. So appreciate the chat.
Lots of amulet jokes. Are the amulet jokes played out? I think the amulet.
Amulet jokes have. Here's the thing: is amulet jokes have now reached the point where like your dad might bang an amulet. You're like,
I haven't even considered an amulet joke in like 2 weeks. Like,
here's the thing: if you're gonna do an amulet joke, you gotta you gotta do it in a good spot, right? Like you gotta really pick your spots with the amulet jokes. It can't be every single time he scores the goal now, right? Maybe it can. I don't know. Maybe
it would have been a good like 2 times. Like I think somebody said a 2-time speed fleet of foot for the amulet. Well, that would have been a good spot for that in overtime. Maybe a good spot for the amulet joke, but I think they're getting a little done.
Yeah. Either way, I still think that when he sees, like, I like to picture a world where when he's in stores and he sees like shiny stuff, he's like, "Ooh, that would look sick."
That's obviously a tremendous amulet.
Yeah, that's a great amulet. So yeah, maybe amulet jokes aren't fully dead. Either way, subscribe to this podcast, leave 5 stars, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, reach out anytime at JD Bunkis, at Sam McKee, and we will see you on Saturday night. Big one against the Oilers.
Oh yeah.